It was something I wrote during COVID at a time when I was trying to sort out sort of how I was going to manage, what everyone was dealing with, right? And I knew I could always tell original stories, and that's what I love doing more than anything else. And it gave me, honestly, a little sense of control when I felt like I didn't have a lot of control. And it really was about a love story about two people that who didn't have a person, who no one felt like they understood them, and then finally maybe there's this person over there that gets me that no one else does, but between us is this vast unknown, this horrible thing that nobody knows what's going on, right? And that's what COVID was at the time, and we kind of put a face on it in this movie, and it's really about, sort of love versus the unknown, which is what, is what so many of us did at that time. If you were lucky enough to have someone to be with, you were like, I don't know how we're going to do this, we'll do it together.
The movie takes place in a bit of a supernatural setting, but at his core, he's a service member, elite sniper. I've had some, I've researched that for other roles before. I have friends who are in the military, family members who are in the military. You want to try and play it as earnestly as you can, and what we ask these men and women to go through and then just return to civilian life, it's really hard. And in this movie, I appreciated that there's a term warrior poet, and there's a long history of what that means. But really, it's nice, for him to have an outlet. I think some type of expression of what they go through, it's good. It needs to go somewhere.
I loved all the action sequences. We had a whole bunch of really big set pieces, so that was a really fun challenge. But I also really loved the dance that Miles and I get to do. It felt really special. And when we finished it, it was a huge sense of like, okay, we got it. I think luckily in the film you get an opportunity to see both sides of her, but really her music taste was a big insight into who she was for me. How quick she is to laugh. I find that the balance between that and what she does for a living creates a very interesting person.
First thing that was interesting to me about the script is that it was an unlikely love story, and I'd never seen anything like it with that particular blend of genres where you have this really beautiful kind of broken-hearted love story, and then you kind of dive into pretty hardcore fantasy and sci-fi. I've been working with Scott for a little while when we got the script, and he is such an innovative filmmaker, in horror, and he did Doctor Strange for Marvel, and he just has such a great vision, and he's so talented that we, as a producer, you really do just support the director's vision, and you try, everything in your power to get the things done that they need to get on screen.